Today we are in Louisville, Kentucky. We are at Eastern Cemetery. Watched a documentary recently on YouTube about this cemetery and how historic it is. And then it got to the bad parts about where there's multiple people and multiple graves. The cemetery's kind of not been taken care of except for wonderful volunteers that's come out and devoted their time into trying to take care of it. But as you can see, it's very, very, very overgrown. There's debris piled up everywhere. They talked about the headstones being resold to families, and not real sure about the makings of headstones, but I can show you an example. When they carve out a headstone, usually the letters are carved in. Well, I guess this person was selling headstones, and he would shave them down. If you can see this little lip right here, and reuse them. He'd put other people's names on them. Kind of sick, but it happened. This area over here, it's really overgrown, so I don't want to really trample through the weeds and get chiggers all over me. It's really hot out today and don't feel like being itchy. About 3 hours from home, so apparently that is the area where he would just clear it out and sell the plot to another family. The documentary said that one of the workers that started working out here would come out to dig a plot, and they would find bones, and he would tell the guy that there was other people buried in there, and he would just tell him to cover it up with the green carpet for the funeral and throw the bones back in the plot with the family after they left. So the documentary also said that some of these plots have got up to 10 people in one spot. They called in an anthropologist to start digging out here to find remains of people. And I guess it was just very, very overwhelming. There's not been any maintenance, and like I said, it's a shame that it looks like this. Supposedly there's a lot of very historic people. There's poison ivy growing everywhere. A lot of historic people buried here. A lot of history for Louisville. If you look real close, there's a red wall out here, and it's got barbed wire at the top of it to keep people out of Cave Hill Cemetery, which is absolutely stunning and very well maintained. I wish, after seeing this, that there was more good people in this world that would just take a day and come out with a weed eater and just pick a spot and just start cutting it down. I seen a whole area that was nothing but our veterans out here, and you can't even see their headstones. It's truly sad. Another interesting tidbit is the building I showed you at the beginning is a historical kind of building. I guess has a lot to do with Daniel and Clark, and I think this guy was a doctor. Um, they helped build that building when there was pandemics so that the families could view the bodies without bringing the sickness in the house. And they called it a wake house. And it's a pretty neat idea. This one here, I don't know. There's so much stuff and it's so overgrown you can't really tell what's what. But I can assure you that it's very, very, very overgrown. If I remember right, there was 166,000 people buried in the cemetery, and that's a Simpson. That's my family, Kentucky family's name. Which is kind of sad. Hopefully, none of my family's in here, but truly wouldn't surprise me none. But this building is really kind of cool. Check out these cool mushrooms it's growing. I thought it was a piece of wood. It's really a mushroom. But if you look in the wake house, I don't know if you guys can see or not, but there is headstones in there that they have found, and apparently they don't know where they go, which is kind of sad because there's probably about 4 or 5 of them in there. And the one that I'm looking at, I don't know if I can get you in here so you can see, says Joseph Stark's Kentucky Private U.S. Army World War I, April 29th, 1893 to September 7th, 1969. Well, thank you for your service, sir. As you walk through, there's some paths where you can see some of the headstones. But for the most part, it's all overgrown. And if you look way back in the back, there's a mausoleum back there and the crematory, and it's all overgrown. You really can't even tell that it was ever used at this point. I guess people volunteered and they tried, and it's just way too overwhelming. The cemetery looks actually kind of small, but according to the documentary, there's a lot of land out here, so there is headstone after headstone that you can't even see. There's one little area here. It looks like somebody tries to keep this area clean. I don't know if maybe they volunteer and they just got one area they try to keep up with. But I get it. Too much, too hard. Well, if anybody has something they need to find to do on a weekend or something, grab a weed eater and come out here and help Ohio's history. Nobody seems to want to take claim for this cemetery or how to fix it. Nobody was ever charged with what happened. But I do know that it's a shame that it's going to waste.